Christmas looked really different than it does today when I was growing up. There weren't any blow up lawn ornaments. There wasn't wreaths on our door. There wasn't any Christmas pillows or Christmas throws or Christmas plates or Christmas glassware. But we did have a candelabra or a single candle in each window. That was something that was very old fashioned, and we did have that. We didn't even have a wreath on our door. But Christmas to me was the smell of waking up to a propane stove running in the morning. I knew then that Christmas was coming soon because that smell meant it was getting colder outside and that Santa would be coming. We didn't have Christmas lights outside on our homes, and now I see some that are professionally put on there every single year. We have a row of houses on the highway that is about 12 or 14 miles from my house, and those Christmas lights go up all on the same day, all at the same time, with the same pattern, with the same type of lights. So it's kind of apparent that they have them professionally put in every single year. We didn't even have them on our house. We just had them on our tree with that single candle in the windows. And that single candle, it dates way back. It was a sign of faith. It was a sign of hospitality, and it was a sign of a prayer for the return of a loved one. It actually originated with Irish Catholics who put that in their window as a hidden way to show the priests that they would be safe at their homes. It then evolved into a welcome sign for travelers. So that is where that saying comes from. I'll leave a light on for you. When I grew up, we didn't have the Christmas platters and all of those fun things that you can choose to buy today. We did have some heavy crystal platters with some glass patterns that were our decorative display plates, and I still have those today. When we went shopping in the city, that is when we would see Christmas lights if we were there after dark. I remember even when it wasn't Christmas, I loved being in the city after dark and seeing the city lights because for me, that seemed like it was Christmas any month of the year because where I grew up, it was so dark that you could see the stars clearly. Traditions and decorating for Christmas have grown and grown over the years. They used to be so simple. If you go back and watch some of the simple old movies like It's a Wonderful Life or even Scrooge, they were celebrated with family, with a day off, with maybe some special foods that they prepared. And those foods didn't have to be expensive. It was just that they were festive. They were only served at holidays. And my family was no different. We had some simple, festive foods that we served only at holidays. And that's what made them special, even though they were just pennies on the dollar. One of the things that I grew up eating was Bavarian cream, and it's not the kind that you hear about today. My son in law even told me the last time we were together, you all made me think Bavarian cream was this salad that you make, but it's really something totally different. But that's what we grew up calling it. It was just a red jello with whipped cream, and you used a beater to make it look very festive. Super cheap back then. Jello wasn't expensive, and that was a special salad, and we only had it on Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have since changed the variation of that when my kids were young, adding in a can of jellied cranberry sauce and beating that in for a festive flavor along with it. But some of these simple memories are the best memories. And many times we associate the fancy stuff we see in the stores to being the festive part of Christmas. But the festive part was the fact that we had certain things as a treat and we didn't have them all year long. And sometimes I think we have forgotten that a treat is something that we don't have all year long. And that's what makes it so special. If you're watching this video today, I just want to let you know that my name is Bonita. I live in Kansas and I'm early retired. I retired early at almost 58 years old, a little over 2 years ago. I do frugal living content, depression era content, and we talk about lots of things, tips and tricks to help all of us stretch that dollar. This December, I am doing daily vlog videos talking about Christmas, talking about memories and recipes and traditions and all kinds of fun things to get you in the holiday spirit. So I hope you will turn me on daily starting December 1st so that you can have a little bit of company while you're either wrapping gifts or preparing some food or just wanting to get a little bit more in the Christmas spirit. I thank you all for being here today, and now let's continue with the video. When I grew up, the colors for Christmas that were used were very basic: gold, green, red, and those were basic colors. And now it has expanded to blue and orange and purple. I have seen all kinds of colors in the multicolored lights over the last few years. And that caught my eye because I looked at that and I thought, we never had all of those colors growing up. Orange definitely wasn't considered a Christmas color. It was considered a Halloween color. And purple and blue, those were just not even on the spectrum for being a Christmas color. So I have to say that I do love some of the old-fashioned ways that I grew up. I do prefer sticking with those basic Christmas colors. Now, I have done trees in all one color before just to experiment. And one year I did it all blue. That wasn't bad. I had the garland, I had all blue lights. Another year I did all purple lights, all purple garland, and it was pretty. And one year I did all red, and the red garland and the red lights. But one year was a total failure, and I did all green. Green lights, green tree, green garland. Green's my favorite color. It was way too much green. And I never did that again. I know my daughter, her husband insists on having all white lights on his tree. And many people follow that old-fashioned tradition of all white lights on a tree. But over the last few years that they've been married, she has won out the argument, and I noticed she had multicolored lights on her tree last year. I'm curious, how do you decorate your tree? Are you an all white light person? Are you a multicolored light person? And have you tried any different colors on your tree like I have? And what did you think? Another family special treat that we only had on the holidays was a special sponge cake that my mom made with some frosting that was cooked on the stove, and it was a caramelized type frosting. She put it on the sponge cake hot, and then she added some coconut that was toasted on top. And I've never loved coconut, but I loved this cake. The frosting would just snap on the outside when you cut it, but the inside of it was creamy, and it was the most delicious cake. It probably took her a while to make it, but I don't think it took that many ingredients. It was just something that took some time, and it was always considered a special holiday treat. We didn't have a ton of pies or a ton of desserts. We just had a few family favorites like having cornflakes with peanut butter and corn syrup made into chewies. And some of these recipes are found in my Depression era cookbooks that I list in the description box below. But these are things that make your holiday special. So if this year you're having trouble getting it all together or having enough of something that you usually have, don't fret about that. The holiday is special when you wake up in the morning and you know that it's Christmas. What you're having that day helps add to it being special, but us trimming down how much we have or trimming down to the items that are affordable, that are still special, it will still be a special day. Turn on that Christmas music. Turn on that Christmas special. Light your candles that have a fragrance. Do other things that make it special. And I promise you, it will all come together. And at the end of the day, when you're sitting in your chair and reflecting on the day, you will know that you had a very blessed Christmas.
We are ready for Santa Claus.
I appreciate you all listening today. Like I said, I'm going to have videos December 1st through December 24th this year. If you enjoy this type of content, some reminiscing, some fun Christmas conversation, I would really appreciate it if you would tune in and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening today, and I hope to see you December 1st.